Well, I promised a number 2. But which number 2, you may ask? Edward. Shush! Shush! I've been promising Edward since yesterday. Since yesterday. I just really enjoyed making these videos. So I'm going to do Edward. But before we get into the Edward body, we're going to get into Edward's backstory. Which I'll make it quick because we have a lot to cover. Here's the story of Edward number 2. Edward was built as the prototype for the K2s, except having a shorter this thing. I forgot what it's called. Having a shorter one, having a shorter one of those, having a 2-wheel arrangement and 1 wheel instead of 4, I think. And Edward would have an LNER tender of the Grizzly designs instead of a K2 tender, just to see if it would work. The experiment would not work well, as Edward needed a larger wheel arrangement, and the K2s were built. So, he was shipped over to the LNER, which performed terrible, and brought Thomas along to the Southern Railway. To jump there for a little while. Worked there for a while and escaped from Scotland, but got caught. He was sitting in the scrapyard until he was soon bought by the Fat Controller. But he was not used by 2 months. And that was Edward's day out. Pretty much. Pretty simple, pretty sweet. Anyways, let's get started. So let's start off with the body! Edward's body is made out of paper. Edward's boiler is made out of tinfoil and paper. I use tinfoil as the inside, but would be replaced with cardboard in the future. Then I laid down the paper. I drawn on the paper to make it blue, and that made Edward's boiler. As I always like drawing faces, I drew this face. Next up was the back cab, which was neat, made from paper. Made from paper as it is. Just took a piece of paper, drew some dots on it, which depicts the driver windows. And next the tender, which took a little more hassle and hassle. Oh, and I forgot the face has a beard because I think that suits Edward, even though that was a mistake. Anywho, I took a big piece of Edward's tender took 2 tries. Take that. So I wrapped it around to make it big enough until I got the perfect size. I taped on the 2, and that was that. And thus, Edward. Oh, and I also forgot to mention I had to cut the boiler a bit to be more in scale with these engines. Even though Edward's smaller than Gordon. I got an idea, guys. Don't go anywhere. Carsey will be back. Don't know where I put Gordon's tender. Oh, there it is. Once upon a time, there lived in a little engine in a shed called Edward. He lived with 5 other engines. They were all bigger than Edward. The driver won't choose you, Gordon Woodlawn. Would you like to come out today? Said the driver. Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir. And they left. They were upset. The others were upset that they were left behind. Would you like to go again? Oh yes, Edward said. I got to go again. I'm going out again. The other big engines were just grown. Sorry about that, but I just couldn't resist it. I just couldn't. I had 5 other engines. Anywho, Alfred and Croven does not exist. Actually, they did exist at one point, but were soon scrapped. As for other models, I plan on making computer miniature engines as well, which I will do right after this video. Anyways, I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!